pumped.
I know you pumped. You ready to go, huh?
Yo, listen.
Let's get
Okay.
it.
All right. So in this episode, on this show today, I'm going to be a little more transparent. I'm going to be a little more accepting, kind of hear things out, because I genuinely want to understand all perspectives, which is the reason why I added, is DJ culture still prominent? We're talking about the DJ, we're talking about the b-boy, but I personally am going to spend a little more time. If you guys already know, I'll do 2 topics on each element, right? I'm only doing one on the b-boy. If you want to take up my slack, great, but I want to spend a little more time on the DJ, just because of something I came across, and you and I talked about a little. So if we're ready, we're ready.
Yeah, we're ready, and I'm down with that. And for us, it's cool because it works perfectly. This week, the element of the week for us is the DJ. So we're post.
Yeah. And now on top of that, because I noticed that was the element of the week. So again, anyone logging in, tapping in, all that good stuff, I do want to hear your feedback. We're not going to make it the whole show of what you're saying, but I need feedback. If you want to message me later, great, but I need feedback, because I need to understand what's going on here.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get it. Go ahead, man.
Off the rip. Okay.
Go ahead.
You and I both posted DJ Quick, a very small segment of DJ Quick, kind of giving his 2 cents on the new format of DJing.
Yes, sir.
Just a heads up, I don't mind it. It's here. I get it. Everyone will innovate it, and innovation, and yeah, I get it. I get that. I understand that. I get it. It's easier to have your laptop. We've discussed all that. I understand that. We're not carrying crates anymore. I get it. But here's what I want to talk about. This comes from me, a person that loves DJ culture. I understand that not a lot of people do, and this is part of what we're going to talk about. So he was saying something about buttons, right? Pushing buttons and all that. And I told you, I saw a 50-50 response to that. Some people were like, speak on it quick. I agree 100%. And then I had some people kind of going against what Quick was saying that I thought weren't going to go that route. Neither right or wrong. I get it. It's opinions. But this is the way I see it. It's easy. I've seen people, fast forward. So there was this DJ. I don't follow him, but I was scrolling and I saw a DJ, and it said something to the effect of, "Oh, 90s. What were you doing when these 90s songs came out?" Mm-hmm. So he's doing a set, and it was probably 45 seconds or so, of 5 songs back to back, right? So he wasn't playing it too long. So I understand, right? Maybe for that, the buttons. But my question was, well, wait a minute. What's the purpose of the turntables if you're not even using them? You're just hitting the button. Yeah, you're doing the fader because right, but you're not what's the purpose? And it was a genuine question. I wasn't trying to talk shit. No one came at me sideways. It was a genuine question. And he did say that. He's like, well, for this, it's quick. So it's not a routine. So boom, boom, boom. And he said, when I'm doing a show, yeah, of course you're rocking. Okay, I get it. Further conversation. And this is where I kind of met halfway. And I said, I get that, right? But that's a pre-cue, right? A lot of people might not follow me here. A DJ, right? You're constantly doing math in your head. Right. You're like several seconds ahead, right? Right. This turntable is playing whatever. Boom, right? So what's rotating on this side, and you're over here, right? Right. You let this go. You come back over here, and you know how many times to spin it back. Right. That alone, that little piece of time, that is talent, because your needle can skip, and now you have to make it sound like you didn't fuck up, or the needle didn't fuck up, or like, yeah, I have to. It went whatever, how many BPMs, and it rotated 3-4 times, whatever. Now you have to spin it backwards that same amount of time, in the same amount of time that this comes on that beat, right? With the push button, and again, I use that term loosely. I'm not trying to talk shit, but with that button, you don't have to think about that turntable going 4 or 5 times. You could just click the button. You're now on beat. You're back
Right.
to where you started. I understand. It's easy. It's quicker. I get it. But isn't that a fine line where you're taking away from the art form?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But it doesn't really matter though. I mean, it only matters to who it matters to. So if that makes sense. You and I, maybe the 9 other people in here care. Nobody else gives a shit, to be honest. So it really depends on who you're talking to. So we're having this conversation like, yeah, like, okay, it affects the art form. But in the end, the average person, which is your second topic, the music fans care about what goes into DJing? No. Absolutely fucking.
It doesn't matter, right? Yeah.
So in the end, no, most people don't give a shit. So sometimes, so like, are we? Then it sounds like we're just. I won't say just complaining, but I mean, we care about something other people don't care. That's all. And I'm sorry for the feedback. Just got to run with it. I don't know what's going on.
No, you're good.
But basically, the controller shit. I mean, the buttons and stuff. I've seen people do parties with just that and no turntables. That makes sense. Yo, if you give me one of them shit, if you set me up like that, I'll crush any fucking party. Like I'll master that shit. If you would think I was the best DJ in the fucking world, I'll put my music, my ear up against anybody. But and I think I could rock that. But to me, I can never do that in my heart without spinning records. You know what I mean? I can never do that. So.
I mean, yeah.
Salute, Master Zayas.
Master Zayas, shout out, brother. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to come off as bitter or anything. I genuinely want to understand it because, again, I take it back, right? So we talked about how it took me a while to accept the fact that cassette tapes are no longer a thing. So I had to buy CDs. It took me a while to understand that CDs are no longer a thing. Now it's all digital. I still collect that shit, right? So it took me a while to understand laptops, no more crates. So again, I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, I got to understand that this is going elsewhere. And it's fine because, you got some of the biggest DJs, whether it's a DJ Khaled, and I have to bring that up, or a Jazzy Jeff or a Mixmaster Mike. They have those controllers in front of them. They do have that option, and I get that. So that's why I'm asking, like, if the dirtiest of DJs, and by dirty I mean just the ones that are, again, Jazzy Jeff, Funkmaster Flex, DJs that are Kid Capri that can rock turntables, and they've accepted it. Why can't I?
Right.
And it's the purest in me, right? But genuinely, I feel like.
Go ahead. Here's the thing for me, like, is levels to this shit. If a DJ like Jazzy Jeff is using that shit, I don't give a fuck because he's probably taking it, flipping it on another level. He's probably like his expertise is enhancing that rather than that enhancing. So
yeah, exactly.
So I don't mind. I don't care about that. Like I'm saying, I look at it as when people are starting out, and that's all they learn. And someone's starting out with b-boy, and all they learn is power moves. If you don't know the foundations, we keep going back to it. So basically, it's like if they know the foundations, and if DJ Jazzy Jeff or one of these legendary DJs, I'm not putting Khaled in that category, but one of these legendary DJs is using newer technology, I personally don't mind. I'm talking specifically about the buttons. I hate seeing anybody on CD. I hate that shit. I hate it. If you're using, and again, I'm not a DJ expert, but if you're using like little tools to help with your timing and stuff like that, and you're, I see where it's going. So I personally don't mind as long as DJs know the foundation and DJs still try to adhere to the foundation. But it's not really. It's changed, though. Big up.
And again, hence why I'm trying to understand it, because I've gotten to that point, right? I don't want to sound like a bitter old dude. I don't want to sound like someone say, because I'm old school. Yeah, I mean, I'm old school, but again, knowing what goes into the craft, it just sucks to see that eventually, give it 20 years, to say the least. You know, okay, the casual DJ, new casual DJ, not someone that's been DJing casually since the 80s, just a new casual DJ. If you say needle drop, do you know how to needle drop? Well, it kind of makes sense. Oh, yeah, you just drop the needle on the record. No, needle drop. That the being able to drop a needle in an exact group, crazy within its own, right? But something like that, I feel if it goes this way, which again, I'm trying to understand, that's not going to be a thing anymore. That's going to be a lost section of that element.
Yes, of course it is.
You know?
It's gone. But here's the thing. I look at it like this, not to cut you off. I look at it like this. I went to school for graphic design, right? And in the 70s and 80s, people were using like T-squares and all types of crazy. It was all manual. Photoshop, Max, and things like that. Easier. You have the skills. So I would hate to have been a graphic designer in the 70s trying to like, do stuff like stuff. That shit was all manual. Those people doing it back then were obviously fire at it because it was harder to do. But learning now, I still had to learn the basics. I still had to learn, different graphic design concepts. So it's two things come into it. Part of it's who you're learning from, right? If you're learning from Rob Swift, pick up, Scratch, Roots, Legendary Roots Crew. If you're learning from Rob Swift and you're starting out as a casual DJ, you're gonna learn the right way. If you're learning from Mr. Sinister, you're gonna learn the right way. If you learn it from YouTube, you might learn the right way. So but if your heart's in the right place, you want to learn the right way. So I think it goes back to the practitioner. Do they want the easy way out, or do they want to learn how to do it properly and then use those tools to enhance their craft?
Because you brought up a good point, in the past and now, right? Those that know and learn the foundation and know how to, again, whether it's graphic design, DJ, anything that you do, prior to having the digital tools and shit like that, you know how to troubleshoot certain shit. So if you're one of those people that has nothing to do with DJ now, and just in general, and something else comes along that makes that element or thing easier for you, then you're going to be 10 steps ahead of those that just learned from the surface. So again, like you said, if I get it, Mix Master Mike uses it, Jazzy Jeff, and that's fine. I understand that. It's just something, and it comes from me. You guys got to understand, like I'm a huge DJ head. We've talked about this. I can go a full week. All I listen to is just DJ mixes, like battle scratching. And I know that takes a certain ear. I'm not better than anyone or vice versa, but I can do that because I'm just a fucking head for DJing. And I know not a lot of people, a very small percentage of people can actually do that, especially these days. So I'm a little different, and hence why I'm trying to understand it. But here we are.
Right. Well, let's go into your natural follow into the next topic. Do fans even care about what goes into it? That's why I said, man, like there's levels to all of this. You care about DJ and the art form on another level, right? Whereas somebody else that may care about a little less. We were just talking about that, the buttons.
Yeah, we just talking about the buttons. Exactly.
You care about it on way more than somebody else. So I don't think, and you said music fans. So here's a perfect example. A man DJ, he posted, this is great. He posted something the other day that said, people should be there to hear the DJ, not see the DJ. And
Not
so I
see the DJ.
hear the DJ, but not see the DJ. And as far as like just performing, and it kind of leads into this. I said I like seeing shit that I can't do. I said to me, watching a good DJ is amazing. I could stand at the DJ booth the entire fucking night and watch a DJ get records, cue that shit up. It's amazing to me. It's particularly back in the days in the 90s when I don't know when the laptops came around, but I didn't see them back in the day. So it's mesmerizing. I can sit there all day and watch a DJ do his or her thing with them records, man. And so I care about what goes into. I care if my favorite DJ is now spinning DJs, but a lot of people just want to hear the music, man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't give a fuck. Like they don't care.
They don't care. Do you think? I don't even know if I think so, and I'm going to ask you this. So, the state of the sound of the music, the state of the genre of hip hop, and really any music now, because then the DJs can play whatever. Obviously, I would figure that affected everything, right? Because so again, I also posted the 23rd anniversary of the Freeze or the Brain Freeze shows with Cut Chemist and DJ Shadow, which to me easily the best hip hop show I've been to, and there was only, I believe, one person rapping. That was Latif, the truth speaker of Latyrix from up north, Cali. All DJs, Z Trip, Marsky, Cut Chemist, DJ Shadow. It was all 45s and all funk soul breaks, right? So that's more on a b-boy tip, right? But like you said, seeing the DJ, knowing the DJ is on a timer, not physically, but just mentally. Okay, I put this track on, do what I did, scratch, put the song on, look at the, at the crate, next one, boom. That moment of letting this play, going into your crate, getting the next one queued up, that alone is an art form. Knowing, okay, I got 30 seconds before, right? Or what you can do, let's say you can't find it, you can needle drop, whatever happens, you have to be prepared for anything. And your routine is like, damn, I should have done it in 30 seconds. Now it's taking me a minute. So you kind of go into, repair mode. And now, okay, so now I have to extend it, not only manipulating the sound that's coming out, but manipulating your own set so it won't sound like you messed up. All that is an art form. But yeah, I guess it's for those people that know what goes into it. Does the new music again, fucking Bad Bunny or whatever the fuck. I mean, people go crazy over Bad Bunny. That's neither here nor there. But push the button, it comes on, crowd goes wild. There's no need to beat juggle. There's no need to scratch. There's no need to floss on. You just hit the button and the music comes on. People go crazy. Done.
You're going to play. I want you to play the right music, yo. If you're getting hired for 9 out of 10, just play the songs. They don't.
Right.
And that's
why, right? Of course.
It's all related, and that's why DJs don't get paid. Big up Billy Dance. That's why I'm gonna pay the fucking building. That's why DJs don't get paid with things like that. Why is a promoter gonna pay your DJ? They can get their sound person to play music. I've been with for several shows.
Pre-queued, done.
So again, it's about what people care about. If let's say a show is being booked at a prominent club, it's a hip hop. That promoter might not give a shit about the DJ and might not want to pay the DJ or pay as much. I got a sound guy. Let's say the same acts are being booked at another show. We got Born Infinity. What up? Queens in the building. if let's say that same group was being booked in another place, you or I had a spot, we would understand that the DJ comes with part of the package, and we would pay the DJ accordingly if they were promoted. The certain, so it's what people care about.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if I can tell you, if you're a wedding DJ, you could be a wedding DJ right there too. Right? They don't care if you can fucking needle drop or do anything.
Yeah,
They want you to play
what comes out of those speakers.
whatever
That's all that matters.
whatever fun they want for that kid, bar mitzvah or whatever the fuck it is. You better play them. Like you could be up there doing all kinds of kung fu DJ and son. They don't give a fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said I'm breaking up. So
yeah, just a little bit. I can tell what you're saying. Just a little bit.
Yeah, so they don't give a fuck. I mean,
yeah, and it's sad. And again, this conversation is more like therapy to me because again, I stress out a lot. I'm not about to stress out. I man, you know my passion. I mean, I'm passionate about this shit, and the fact that this is happening, like it kills me, right? One, because I've been there, right? I've been at these shows where DJs are just sweating. I know what it takes to do, for DMCs, a 3-minute routine. I know months of practice went into that shit. So I know the sweat, the tears, and all that shit. So for someone to just kind of push the DJ to the side, it just sucks. It's 94, 95 all over again, where they're like, yeah, DJ, we don't need the DJ, we don't DJ. And it's been happening, right? But at this point, I don't want to make it sound like I'm bugging or I'm bitching or anything like that. It's just personally, that shit hurts me. The fact that DJ don't get respect, but I get it. I mean, that's why I'm trying to have a conversation. I understand. And like I told you, 50-50, bro. The response on that DJ Quick post, people were like, yeah, man, it's innovation, push buttons. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, it's innovative because it's easier, but like, do we want to jeopardize the art that goes into a certain thing just to have it easier to push the button? I don't have to cue it back. I don't have to look for the record. I mean, looking for the record it's different. I get it. It's quicker. But again, now it's just, to me, I remember the first time I saw buttons and shit like that, I think it was a Rakim show. I took my nephew and I told him, I'm like, yo, check the DJs. Again, DJ head here. And then when I was like, wait, this DJ was just smoking the whole time, but I'm hearing like the transitions, but he's kind of like got one blunt in his hand on push. I'm like, again, I was ignorant because I didn't know the whole push button shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? How is he doing all this with one hand? Later, a friend of mine that was performing, he's like, oh yeah, do they have all Seratos and I'm like, push button, what? And that, I mean, I can't remember when that was. That was early 2000s or 2006, somewhere around there. And it just blew my mind. It blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, no, it's changed, Joe. And again, it's all about what people care about. I mean, you look at it as an art form and as a craft. I look at it that way. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, and I have to respect that. I mean, I hate it when people come at me. I'm like, dude, you got to respect what I said. And that's why that's a different approach, right? This show is a little different because it's more of a therapeutic thing for me, letting it go. I know that might sound crazy to you guys, but it's just one of those things that my wife was like, why you stress out so much? I'm like, bro, she's been with me at these DJ shows. Like, it's so, even she knows what goes into this DJ shit. I can't say she's hip hop. She grew up listening to it, and because of me, knows the craft, so she can understand it. Professor Sanchez, what up, bro? But again, we can move on. That's more of a healing for me, I guess, if you want to say that.
No, that's cool. We can move on to the b-boy and then we'll get back to the DJ. So,
all right, go for it.
We can move on to talking to b-boy. So I just really was digging recently more into the early origins
of the b-boy,
of b-boy, and just the gang shit, and even before that, just the burning aspect and people like you were kind of just showing up for a girl, and how they didn't even go on the floor. I was like, the floor shit was later. And I think they said these cats weren't even trying to get dirty. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that shit was, they were still trying to look fly. They even said, you know, nigga twins were like, we weren't get, we weren't trying to get dirty. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, because a lot of people consider Rocksteady the beginning of b-boy. That's one of my things. Like, it drives me nuts, yo. It drives me nuts. That's their second generation.
Yeah.
They're not first generation. It was different by the time they started when they were rocking, man.
So trip on this. And I don't mean to take away from you. Two things. One thing I read recently, and it was more on a pass-by hip-hop blog or whatever. It said breaking started in the 80s. I'm like, wow. I mean, you're 10 plus years off. One. Two, Rocksteady, to piggyback off of what you said, Rocksteady crew came out when people in hip-hop, quote-unquote, were thinking b-boying was already dying out. So think about that.
There you go. Exactly. And by the time it was commercial, and everybody's talking about, like, they're assuming Beat Street and breaking were like getting a b-boy. And
yeah,
that shit was something totally different. I mean, it was very commercial, right? And it wasn't the same shit. But like you said, when Rocksteady came out in the early 80s, and they were actually considered like part of a renaissance of bringing it back, because it had been, right. You know what I'm saying? So,
hence the name. My understanding, I think Ken Swift was said it. You know, because break dance. Right? I hate saying break dancing, even though sometimes I use it. You know, it used to be called rocking or going off, right? And their thing was keeping the rock steady. You know, rocking, which was b-boys, keeping it steady, bringing it back, and that's how Rocksteady, according to Rocksteady members. So yeah, of course. I mean, crazy. That's crazy. Like you said, the Twins, the Mighty Zulu Kings, Charlie Rock. Like, there's people that Batch, team, the Bronx Boys. I mean, these dudes go way back, way before Rocksteady.
Right, and then particularly Black Spades, Savage Skulls. Like, that's important, because like they were getting, that was like considered to be more where up rocking came as far as that. So because they weren't beefing and stuff. So that shit, it was just a totally different dance. And I guess that's what I'm really talking about. When I was really digging into this even more and just thinking about it, I was like, man, a totally different dance in the 70s. And I wish, I want to do it after the show. Actually, I want to try to find some footage of like early pre Frosty Free, pre 71, 70. So I want to see some of that shit and to see what that was really. These cats in here, I want to see what they were doing, yo. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So yeah, no.
Have you watched? I mean, there's like Planet B-Boy. To me personally, if we're gonna talk about documentaries and footage and shit like that, The Freshest Kids has got to be the dopest B-Boy flick or documentary I've seen. Now, there's obviously footage that didn't make it on there, but you know, they get into, again, Batch, Spy of Crazy Commandos, Man of a Thousand Moves, all that. I mean, I would love to find archives and shit like that, you know, because it puts into perspective moves, right? How b-boying used to be, you know, early 70s to what people might be having a conversation like we have a conversation now, right? Oh, you know, it used to be certain styles we never went down on the floor, and then when people went down on the floor, that's not rocking, that's not going off. And the evolution of b-boying, somebody might have come at them the way I'm coming at DJs for using buttons. Like, no, that's not part of it. Or other people might have been, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there. We weren't there. But would love to see the evolution of a certain dance and how what came about and all that good stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, a lot of people give credit to James Brown. I mean, everybody was mimicking James Brown. I mean, he influenced everybody, and some people have said he's like, consider him the first b-boy. I mean, um, yeah. So I think the early origins are pretty cool. I mean, I have seen some videos, posts where people will show stuff and they'll say these are the first b-boys, and there'll be some like tribal dance in Africa or something.
I've seen that.
I'm gonna keep it 100. That's bullshit to me. I mean, it's a reach, and it's like it's not accurate to me. That's not b-boying. That's they're doing their dance, and it happened to be that if someone can say, yo, we took our shit directly from this, okay, then that's a direct lineage. But like i.e. James Brown. But to just be like, oh, it's on the floor, so it's, you know what I mean? That's just not accurate, yo. And they do it, you know what I'm saying? It's just not. That's a reach.
It's hard to pinpoint with anything, right? But earlier stuff, again, we got to understand, and I'm going to have to say this time and time again. MCing, rap music, rap battles, whatever it is, that's the baby of the elements. That's the newest element of hip hop. We got to understand that. DJing, b-boying, graffiti was all being done way before an MC picked up the mic. Let's understand that. The current day MC, right? Because there's a master of ceremony. DJs can be technically considered that, right? But the rhythmic part of it, right? Let's talk about that. But it's hard to pinpoint who did what, right? Because we can get into where did hip hop start in Brooklyn, Bronx. I know everybody embraces the Bronx, but there's a very strong portion of hip hop heads that say that's not the case. There's a documentary. Well, that's besides the point. But to say, oh, these are the first b-boys, or again, Charlie Rock, the Twins, or Mighty Zulu Kings. Can we say that they're the first ones? We don't know, because this stuff, this hip hop shit, it wasn't thought out. There was no internet. I mean, this was stuff being done out of poverty, which till this day blows my fucking mind, that a poverty-stricken borough, area, state, city, whatever you want to call it, came up with such a dominant culture out of fucking really nothing, out of broken down buildings, burned up buildings, gangs turned into fuck this gang shit, let's battle on some music shit, on some graffiti shit. And out of that came, how they say, a rose grows out of a concrete, whatever the fuck. That's really what hip hop is, and we've lost sight of that. But in terms of the history of the dance, it's hard to say, because no one was there like, all right, let's document this, right? Martha Cooper, Joe Conzo, Ernie Panicchioli, all of them came after the fact. Conzo was there early on, but not super early to kind of document, hey, I saw this first, this is, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint.
Someone said, the poor Janine's poor is where talent is. Yo, so that's a good point. Like, that's what I was gonna say. Like, all the ill shit comes out of the fucking mud, man. The ill shit comes out of the mud always. So, just to touch on that, but it's dope, because the early shit. Someone made a point in an article I read. They were saying, well, and again, it's so subjective. Someone said, well, when do you consider b-boying starting? Is it when people first started going to the floor, or is it earlier? Like, did it? So that's what I think the average person is not going to consider b-boying if they see the Twins back in the day or whatever. They might not think of that as b-boy. They think of it when they see Rockstar and see the Beat Street battles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Someone said, well, when do you consider it's starting? And that's the that's where people have to agree on. Okay, I think it started here. Okay, so then we agree on that. Right, making something out of nothing. I mean, hip hop is the essence of MacGyver shit, man. Like we take that's intended for something else and totally flip it, make it our shit. Our shit now is different. Timberlands, you know, tracksuits, all that shit. We take it and make it ski goggles. It's our shit now. You know what I'm saying? And we make it different. Rod Laver sneakers, Smith sneakers, Chuck Taylors, you know, like whatever. Jordan. So everything comes. It's that's what's so unique about our shit, and it'll always have this next to it because it's different. We're different. We see some shit and be like, I'm gonna take that, freak it like this. Wall, wallabies, right? You know what I mean? Like that's
Blue and cream.
everything. You know, I mean, I'm a rock nigga this summer. So, y'all wanna? What's your I want to hear your topic about the b-boy. I'm curious what you got here. The other, I'm on me.
The four core.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since we're on the topic of the b-boy, so and it kind of coincides with what we're talking about. Now, obviously, we know these days b-boying, you know, your flares and certain moves, right? We get that, but I can't say. I mean, I'm a b-boy. My license plate is b-boy. You saw it, but that's another topic. But I'm a b-boy just because in my heart. I can't say I'm sitting here busting windmills and shit like that, right? So that's why I say it. But I'm asking for anybody that's ever been a b-boy or still a b-boy or knows more than I do. Is there or are there four categories, four core categories to the element of breaking or going off, right? So my understanding, and I'm not saying I'm following it, but what I understand from certain b-boys and b-girls I've talked to, it's you start off with the up rock or the top rock, right? So that's one of the main quote unquote dances. Let's call them dances. The top rock, the up rock, right? So your footwork, the feet are doing their thing, and I don't consider that footwork, right? It's the top rock. Then you have your down rock or the floor movement, right? CCs and all that good stuff. So that's two. And then you have your power moves, where that's where your windmills and all that, the head spins and all that shit comes from. The fourth one, which side note, which I think is probably one of my favorites aside from the footwork or the floor work, is the freezes. I think the freezes kind of give that attitude. That's besides the point. But is that even a thing? Can we say, all right, if we're talking about breakers, breaking, b-boying, rocking, going off, whatever it is, can we say there's four core categories for the dance, or is that just like not even a thing?
I mean, I would say the first three definitely. It's unwritten. I don't know. You might get arguments with people, but based on my understanding coming up in it, the first three are definitely. I would say the four freezes is folded into your power and your footwork. I wouldn't say that's some extra. That's your spice on your meal. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you need to know how to do that shit. You should get them, but I would say most, if you ask, big boys, they wouldn't say that's a core thing. But the first three, without a doubt, without a doubt, I've heard those mentioned. So yes, absolutely, and that's how I always understood. That's how I always understood. You had to have your up top. You always had to. It's a dance. Again, we talked about it before. It's a dance first and foremost, not gymnastics. We ain't fucking whatever. Abby Douglas, what the fuck these Simone Biles or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a dance first. The acrobatics and the tricks and the flying Walinda shit that comes later.
So Scratch says that was the garnish. Now what? Yeah, and that's why I say I love it, because it's kind of one of those things like you do your up rock down and then you do the freak like that. I'll keep saying it. That Martha Cooper shot of Kent Swift kind of mean mugging. Like, man, that's that and her picture of Woody Wood holding a mop. That's so hip hop to me. It's not even fucking funny.
And so here's the thing, like I've seen dancers that are dope enough to murk you without even fucking doing no power. They they'll take you out up top, make you look goofy, and then go down with some clean ass footwork, and you've done already. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's a dance first. It always has been, and it should be. Someone brought up a question. What do you think about breaking in the Olympics? We've talked about that before. I don't care for it because typically when things go to that big of a level, um, the corporate whoever people have their hands in it and they fuck it up. They lose the original meaning of the art form and the culture.
Even with, like, we talked about it, no disrespect to Red Bull, but like even like all these big, freestyle sessions is a little different, but even, I mean, it gets to the point, like you said, when it gets to a certain level, judging, we talked about that too, judges being biased, and I mean, I'm gonna take Professor Sanchez and Janine's comment and push it together. What do you think about the Olympics? Right? Professor Sanchez asked. Janine says, I remember here in LA, people used to dance on the corners. So I remember being from West Coast, breaking used to be called, or some people used to reference it as, that's a street dance. The street dudes dance like that way. In Spanish, I can't remember if it was my mom or my aunt. They would call them callejeros, like street people, callejeros. Oh, los callejeros, como bailan los callejeros, how the street dudes dance. And there was breaking. So this is a street art form. Like, it came from the streets, and it wasn't. Again, I understand we're old, and you're gonna call us old heads, but it was never. I don't think it was ever. None of this hip hop shit was ever made to be in that big of a platform, and it just happened. We ran with it. It's dope. People get money, and entrepreneurs, and they created jobs and all that. That's great. But breaking being in the Olympics, I'm with you. I don't.
We already talked about it. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, have compulsory things to do, like in synchronized swimming or some shit? It leaves a lot of room for fuckery. So I'm not a fan of it.
It does.
So, yeah.
Chucky Boogie Brown, no, these are, so we're just making up a show from yesterday. Our shows are still Wednesday. We're just making it up. I was really pumped about having this conversation. But now we're definitely still rocking Wednesday. Today was just a little makeup show.
All right. Let's see. We're back at you. You ready to rock it? What's going on this DJ? Loving this. Go ahead.
I'm still, I mean, again, I'm still on the whole DJ shit. We've already touched on it, right? I mean, well, my next topic, which we already touched on, it was, do fans even care? And we said it. They don't. I mean, unless you're a big ass head like me, and they don't care. And I'm coming to terms that, along with innovative rap music, I can't say innovative because some people might say innovative is like Lil Yachty and all that shit, but experimental or just something different. I get it. I like. Okay, so you sent me some shit. Silas, dude from UK. That shit was right up my alley, and it's different. The sound of the production is different. It's a little slower. It's a little grimier. It's not something you would normally hear, and I love that. It's out the box. Same thing with all this other shit. Like, again, that's probably why I gravitate towards this DJ shit even more now, because you're pushing it away and it becomes more rare, that I'm trying to hold on to it. And
well, yeah, it's becoming a niche thing. Like, first of all, it was always difficult to do. It was never easy. So now it's a niche. Real DJ, yeah, it becoming more and more of a tighter circle, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Big up to everybody in the show. Big up Mark Love. Big up
yeah,
Chucky. Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I mean, it's 93, 94, 95 all over again, where people are just kind of like, You know, and I'm always gonna show love to and there was people in Southern Cali, right? But me, because I always talk about my influences, right? Someone asked me about that earlier, my influence, and really the one that got me deeper into the DJ shit, right? Because DJs prior to like Bomb Hip Hop Records, which is based out of San Francisco or up north, let's just put it that way, the Bay. You know, you had your, you know, Joe Coolies, you had, you know, early DJs, right? Mark Love was doing his thing with Fort Side. You know, you had a bunch of DJs. Redmatic was doing his thing with Brotherhood Creed. I get that. But it got to the point where, like, that's it. Fuck the DJ. We're not paying the DJ. And Billy Jam with Dave Paul created, well, it was Hip Hop Slam and then Bomb Hip Hop Records. But they gave the DJ a platform, the first all DJ album, and that just spawned everything, right? So I'm thinking, shit, do we need another Bomb Hip Hop Records, another Dave Paul to come out and give the DJ that platform? But we're in an era where DJs do their own thing now, and really DJs now are producing, right? D Styles came out with Jay Cyanide. Rhapmatic is coming out with an album with oh shit, who was it? Well, anyways, yeah, DJs are now doing more of a production as opposed to, oh, this is me just scratching my ass off like on a Qbert, you know, scratch hamsters type of shit. So I don't know. It's gonna sound like I'm bitter trying to let go of this DJ shit, but I'm embracing it till the end, brother. Like I love the art form. My utmost respect to the fucking DJ all day.
I mean, it's a dope art form, man. It was the one that I couldn't get into because of just funds. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I wish I could have, but you know, but you know, the b-boy and shit came more naturally to me. So, you know, and that's the thing. Back in the day, we talked about it. Like, we were kind of all doing a lot of the same, you know, different shit, DJ, and you know, and then you kind of just find where your groove is, right? And, oh, like, yeah, I'm not the most coordinated. We fuck with this shit. This seems to come more natural, or you really got an ear for the music, you know. So you know what? Or you just attracted. I remember my friend who was a DJ. He was like, yo. He was like, yo, it was the light, like the lights on the, like he was like lights on the equipment, and he went to a recording studio, saw these lights, and that's what got him into like producing and DJing and shit. Just the looking,
no shit.
Yeah, it's the light on the equipment, like the EQ and just the whole, you know, and that shit is. That's why I say, to me, I can watch, you know, you know, DJ as a performer. To me, the DJ, in a lot of ways, is performing because I just look up to that craft that much. I mean, I do. Like other people, I told you, I could be at a DJ booth like this.
Oh yeah, same. Hey, let me ask you a question. Because, and I wanted to ask you the first time, in the beginning of this. You said someone told you, I'm paraphrasing here, something to the effect that DJ is supposed to be heard, not seen, right?
Yeah.
You said that earlier. So early on, and this might have been pre hip hop DJ, right? I did read somewhere, I did do research where, you know, if you were at a club, the DJ was up in a booth somewhere, you can barely see it, and that was not a thing. So if I put my purist hat on, right? This is a disc jockey. I'm not even say DJ, a disc jockey. Who are these quote unquote urban kids coming out of the Bronx and whatever with this hippity hop, boom bap, whatever the fuck, trying to now, you know, manipulate sound, scratching the record back and forth? Are they an early me pissed off that they're changing what a disc jockey would do, which is just play records?
Right.
All right. So we got to put that into perspective too. Now all of a sudden, well, hey, now from you being up in that booth, probably maybe saying one or two or three words, you got the DJ, the forefront of these hip hop kids coming out to these park jams or clubs to see that DJ.
Right. And so let's take it a step further. So DJ, disc, we talk about radio DJs, right? You know, like playing music for the people. That's the essence of it. Bottom line, even after the scratch, talked about that. Talked about that. He goes, you still got to run. So, but they, right? The cuts and scratches. You want to see that? That's pretty dope shit to see. I mean, you don't want to see. You don't want to have Rock Raider up in the booth, like where you can't see him.
Of course.
Right? So you're doing all that. But back in the day, think about the when the DJ was also the MC.
Yeah.
The DJ ran things, you know. Yeah, the DJ was the backbone of this shit. They were the MC at one point. They were like getting the party hype. You know, there was no fucking dudes sitting back in the, like, yo, it was the music. It was about that and shit like that. And then, you know, party over here, whatever, like, all that shit.
Little Champ. The DJ dictated the vibe to this day, obviously. But the DJ gave the pass to when it got to the point where there were MCs. All right, I'm done with my thing. Put it this way: these days, promoters, right? All right, you got 5 openers, and then you got the main act.
Right.
First 2 acts come on back to back, 8, 7-minute sets, whatever it is, and then you got a DJ. You put the DJ in the slot right here, 15 minutes. Then you got another 2 acts, then the DJ, then the main act. Back then, it was all DJ. If the DJ needed any help or it transitioned to another DJ, maybe a chant here and there, maybe an MC would get, like, the DJ was the main dude, or a girl, whatever it is, main person up front. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, no. So the DJ is to me, the DJ is a performer, and that's why when they're, because again, it's something I can't do. That a lot of fucking skill to blend records all night for 2-3 hours, sometimes the whole night, and to blend the right records, make that just fuck the scratching shit, just to blend records, the right records that sound good, cut creator. So to blend records, that's amazing. That shit is amazing.
Not just blend a record, blend the right record.
The right records that work. Look, and take the party and be able to read the crowd and see what's working and to be able to play off of that.
Yeah, knowing, because I've been there. Trust me. Yeah, I'm sure you have. A lot of us have. Where it's like you put a record on, you start seeing people kind of dwindle away. All right, no, that didn't work. Quickly, boom, let's get the next one going. The other thing too, put it this way. I'm gonna put it into perspective in terms of the whole button pushing and shit like that. I was amazed when I saw a DJ blend records without the headphones. What?
Yeah, right. That's crazy.
I'm
crazy. So we care though.
Yeah.
The other people here care.
That crowd control.
Yeah.
Crowd control.
Yeah. I mean, like, knowing how many times I talked to Sinister about it. How many times have you seen a DJ get lost in one of the, like, either playing what they want to play or cutting and scratching when nobody gives a fuck, and they're just doing all these tricks. Nobody cares. You're there to rock the party. You know what I'm saying? But Alex and DJ was going from break. Yeah, I mean that really progressed. You know what I'm saying? That really progressed it, and they changed the whole shit. They made crack out of that. It's an art form.
That's a great topic. We got 5 minutes left, and I wanna remember that topic because I want to get into that. I like that, Professor. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it again. So yeah,
cool, man. I mean, I like I said, I can talk this shit all day, but we got 5 minutes. I'm hungry as a motherfucker, and I gotta go. But plug your shit. Let's tell. Let me see. Remember the sound. Symphony DJs. Oh shit, yeah.
Symphony DJs.
What's up?
Yeah. So what's going on with us? So you guys familiar with the YouTube channel? What you guys want to see our content, check out the YouTube channel. We got our recent show with A Plus, talking crazy, a monthly show on mental health. We got our recent bill with Brother Jay, Constant Elevation up. Next week we got next week on the show, next Wednesday we got Royal Fam Wu-Tang. So that should be a good one. So we got him on before. It's a good build. So yeah, we got some other things cooking I get into, but I'm so excited about, and when they do pop.
Yeah, I know you'll drop it.
There's some good things bubbling though. So and of course we got our shit going every week. Rock with us.
Yeah. So just aside from rocking with Karen the Culture, YouTube channel, all their shows, tons of great shows. I do want to mention this for those that didn't know. We revamped the show once. We're doing it again.
Right.
February, right? So we're doing 2 weeks, right? Same thing. Rap graffiti.
First 2 weeks.
Rap graffiti, and then DJ and bboy. Third is going to be we're going to start doing guests, right? And we're going to try to touch all the elements, and hopefully, we can either introduce you to new music, DJing, bboy, whatever it is, and vice versa. The last show of the month, again, starting in February, we're going to factor in my under the radar segment a little differently, but we're going to do it anyway. So it's going to go back. It's going to go back and forth. Salute, Scratch. Have a blessed night, brother. So I'm gonna, send you. I don't know why I don't think we've discussed the details, but I'm gonna send you, let's just say 2 or 3 tracks, and kind of get your feedback on what do you like, right? Under the radar stuff that you may have not heard. Vice versa, the next month. Then you're gonna do, send me the stuff. I'll listen to it, kind of like reacting to it live. But again, we gotta understand the music might cut us off and all that bullshit. But
and for me, you'll be in the way I want to do it. Is like you just tell me on the show, like when we get to the show, just be like, yo, all right, put on this joint, and you know what I mean. I'll you tell me where I can find it. But I mean, if it's on Spotify or YouTube, I'm pretty good. But I mean, like, a lot of so much shit is out there. So I mean, but yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna trade music.
You know what would have been dope is if you would have. I mean, I'm glad you sent it to me though, because I'm bugging off this Silas shit that you sent me earlier. That I was bumping it on the way to pick up my dog. That would have been dope to react to that live time, because as soon as I heard it, dude, I'm like, yo, that's all me. That is all me.
I know you were. I'm glad you were fucking with that. So I know what you like. So the question is, are we doing it where we're trying to find the other person we think the other person would fuck with, or no?
No. Not so much like, I think you like this. It's just, but my thing with Under the Radar is, even if at the end of the day someone doesn't like it, I want to make sure it's out there that, okay, I'm gonna tell you what Under the Radar was before we go. A lot of people were like, music today sucks, hip hop today sucks. That's why I fuck with the 90s. And I try so hard. We all try to say, look, so and so, Jay Side, blah blah blah. And they're like, no, 90s. Okay, 90s or late 2000s. Okay, there's a lot of music that came out in the late 80s, all throughout the 90s and early 2000s that I'm pretty sure all these hardcore 90s heads that probably don't go past Snoop, Nas, big names, haven't heard. And I don't say that in a bad way. So my approach with Under the Radar was, okay, you're gonna stay stuck in the 90s, 2000s. I'm gonna throw out a few artists that I know I like, that I'm pretty sure you've never heard of. Now, granted, there's going to be people that heard it, of course, but the goal is to have someone that hasn't heard it hear it. So not so much something that I'll like, because I mean, I like a wide range of shit, and I can say, yo, that was dope. I had never heard it. The goal is to be exposed to artists and music that we might have never heard, unless
I got you.
It's kind of like you just did today, bro. Check this out, boom. I know you did it because you thought I'd like it, but it's just like me and my cousin. Oh, check this out.
I got
you. Later, I didn't like it, or yeah, I liked it. Whatever.
And I'm gonna try to find. See, because there's a lot of under the radar shit from popular artists, not even just like under the underground artists. The underground, it doesn't have to be underground artists. Like there's dope shit from like popular artists like before they became popular. Like
Oh
Fire,
yeah, absolutely.
so yeah, it'll be fun. So I got you. I'm on the same page with you. So yeah, that's gonna be fun, man. So everybody check that out. That's gonna be a good ending to the month, to each month. It's gonna start in February.
Yes, sir.
So we're rocking out like this for another few weeks, and then we're gonna have a guest, and then we do the under the radar shit. So, it's gonna be fun. So fuck with us, and thanks for everybody, the regulars that they come through. Like,
yeah, that's great.
y'all,
It's greatly appreciated. The regulars, obviously, you like you fuck with us, and it doesn't go unnoticed. You know, all we ask, or all I ask, I guess, is just support, right? I mean, and you being on here is supporting. Tell your peoples, right? You know, I also don't want like 200 people on here that are probably just going to be talking shit, right? We want to see a good conversation. Rubik, Janine, Professor Sanchez, everybody that comes in here. We appreciate Chef. I don't know. I didn't see Chef today, but we appreciate you. And you guys got to fuck with the merch. This shit is fun.
Love you, brother. So, you know what I'm saying? So everybody, rock with us. And we back at it, yo. That's fuck with it. Tim came before, so we got that'll be a good one. So, and then we got King T coming up pretty soon too. Forgot about that.
Ooh, heavy hitter. All right.
Yeah. So we got King T. So, all right, salute, man. Go eat your dinner.
All right, brother. Peace. Jeff. Peace.
Peace, family.